Hey folks, welcome to Junction City today. I am your host, Craig Bealey, just like it says right down there. And we have been on a bit of a hiatus lately, like most things during the last year and a half or so, but we're back. And we are happy today to host Alex McDonald and Lorraine Brown from Family Promise, Utah. And we got a lot to cover today. Now, I only know this much about Family Promise.
Well, we'll start with the title. Family Promise of Ogden.
Family Promise of Ogden.
Right.
Great. See, now I know this much. So I started out with this much, and by the end of today, we're going to know like this much. All that. So exactly. It is Family Promise of Ogden, which I think I kind of knew, but I just had forgotten.
So we're a national affiliate, but there are various Family Promise affiliates within Utah. We are Family Promise of Ogden.
Of Ogden, right. And so what is your area then? What do you cover?
So basically Weber, Davis County currently, although Davis is in the process of organizing their own Family Promise, so they will be up and running in the next year or so.
Yeah, great. Well, for all of us out there who don't know what Family Promise of Ogden does, can you kind of explain and tell us how this works?
Yeah. Well, basically what it is, of course, we give people shelter, but it also, we help train people with budgeting skills, job interviewing. So it's not just giving shelter for a night and then saying, see you later. We work with a lot of different congregations in the area. And so what they'll do is host families for a number of, weeks or days. And so we can, again, do some training on skills that'll help them, kind of get beyond being homeless and be able to get back on their feet again.
Right. So now, are these families in crisis or just families struggling?
Well, these are all homeless families with children.
Crisis.
So we do not take families or adults without children. So
Right.
we focus on families. That's why we are Family Promise, right? They are homeless families. Not all of them are unemployed. You might be surprised to know that there are a lot of working poor who cannot afford housing in our state.
And that is true. And I've seen that in various incantations throughout society. Okay. I mean, that exists. Not everybody, there are lots of people that are working hard. Some of them even have good jobs.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're just in a position where they cannot find a permanent residence.
Or something happened, just pushed them over the edge, an illness or, something like that too.
So our job, we provide the temporary shelter, food for that family for as long as it takes to get them back on their feet, become independent and self-sufficient. And once we've taught them these life skills, help them find the employment, the housing, we follow them. And so, for instance, at Family Promise, we opened our doors in Ogden in 2017. Since 2017 through thus far in 2021, we have helped 68 families return to independence, self-sufficiency, and we know because we follow these families that not one of them has returned to homelessness.
Wow.
So we feel like this is just a banner service for the state of Utah and for Weber County.
Yeah.
Nobody does this in the sense that we provide not only shelter and food for these families, but we train them in the life skills, help them get employment, the skills that they're going to need to remain self-sufficient for the course of their lives. So it's a very valuable service. It's provided, in terms of tax money, free of charge to you and me. Yeah. It's run by an army of volunteers, local congregations, as Alex was describing here, who provide their facilities to host these families. We also have North Ogden City has provided it was a former fire station that we've converted that we use up in North Ogden as an alternate
I have
housing.
been there.
Yeah,
I've been there, actually, and I've taken
that.
donations there, like DVDs and things like that. So I know that. And the fact that you've got a 100% batting average, is that how that works? I'm not a sports guy, so all I know, maybe I should use a different metaphor, but you're doing very well, is the point.
Right,
Exactly.
So we're looking for the long term here. How can we help these families move into another kind of life and permanently move out of homelessness?
Yeah. You've got success stories and you've followed up on them. And does that get you right?
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I just feel like when people hear the message of what we do, it's fabulous, and they want to be a part of it.
Yeah. And how'd you get involved, Alex? I mean, I know you from other things, and you guys have seen Alex on the show before. but
having served in nonprofits, basically all of my professional, if you want to call it that, career, this really appealed to me, and just. Again, it's that teach a person to fish, don't just give them a fish. Or like Lorraine says, it's win-win. And like she was mentioning earlier, it doesn't cost taxpayers anything, and it gets families back on their feet with skills that they need. Mm-hmm. And that's like you say, it kind of gets you right here when you hear those stories and see how all these families are doing. that's what it's all about. If we can help in some little way, yeah, I'm in. You know,
That's fantastic. So the question then becomes, how are you guys funded? I mean, do you have a tree in the
Great.
backyard that you're going out and picking
It's actually a
$100 bills?
bucket. It's a bucket of money, yeah.
Because we taxpayers are not footing the bill here, and you're
Right.
doing wonderful things. Where and you're volunteers, but there are costs. So where's that coming from?
Absolutely. So we have an annual fundraiser that provides part of this. We also are constantly looking for grants from various organizations to help fund our work. But we have coming up in September of every year, we have a fundraiser. This year, our Rise and Shine breakfast is September 9th. Wait, I'm going to say September
16th. Yeah.
16.
September 16th.
September 16. And we have set the goal of raising $100,000 this
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That's a lot of money, especially for
it is.
breakfast, because I spend like $2 on a burrito
cheap,
from
yeah.
Maverick or something like that.
Well.
but so you're looking for corporate sponsors. You're looking for people that will
Right.
just come and buy individual seats and that
Right.
sort of stuff. How much is an individual seat if like just someone out there wants to come and go and support this cause?
It's $150 a seat,
Right.
or a table of 10 for $1,500.
Right.
And then there's the major sponsors that can get the front row seat. And we've got a great speaker this year too, Ben McAdams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
who's had a lot of experience, dealing with homelessness, both
You
as a
bet.
Salt Lake County mayor and then also in Congress. So he's got a lot of background, a lot of information. So it should be a wonderful presentation.
yeah, we're very
too.
excited to have him come. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know Ben's story, but when he was mayor of Salt Lake County, they had some incredible homeless problems, and he decided he needed to know firsthand what was going on. I don't know if you've heard the story. So
Yeah.
he put on his hoodie and became homeless for a weekend. And
Wow.
anyway, his report about his experience is really eye-opening.
Yeah.
And we'd like people to hear
You bet.
his thoughts about
I
homelessness.
actually was listening to a podcast about homelessness, and Salt Lake City was pointed to as one of the great success stories of,
Yeah.
and Ben had a big hand in that, if not the biggest hand, whatever that is. So
Absolutely.
he knows what he's talking about.
Definitely.
The breakfast is being held where?
It's at the Comfort Suites Convention Center.
Okay.
And again, it'll be September 16th. And probably it'll be so large we'll have to do it again on the 19th.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Well, let's get your website here up on the screen. And there is where you can get more information for Family Promise of Ogden. Can you buy tickets actually to the breakfast right there on the website?
You can sign up and then,
Right.
yeah.
And
Right.
you can donate online. And there's lots of information there. You could contact Raquel, who's the executive director, or you could just call Family Promise. There's lots of ways of getting connected if you're interested in
Good
getting a
ways to do
ticket or
it.
just donating. We'd love
And
to
if
have
you can't
donations.
make it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you can't make it, maybe you could just slap a little money your way and you'll put it to good use. And
Right,
if
we
you
would
are
love
a
it.
business out
Yeah.
there, this is a great way to get your name out there. It's a great way to support your community and treat a couple of your employees. Do like an employee of the month or something like that, and
Right.
send them to the breakfast.
Or we would love to have an employee match.
Oh yeah,
Have some of these employers come up with some kind of donation that they're comfortable with, and
Yeah.
we can find community volunteers to match that.
yeah.
So-
Can people call you, Lorraine, and
Absolutely.
you, Alex, if they want more
Absolutely.
information?
Yes.
Are your numbers available on that website and everything?
Yeah, actually, probably email is the best. That way, then I can keep track of things. So,
Right.
Right.
So-
$100,000 seems like a lot,
Well,
but
it is, but we
but-
have done that. We've
Yeah.
raised that kind
Yeah.
of money in the past.
yeah.
So,
How far does it go? $100,000. What does
well,
that do?
to be honest with you, it costs much more than that to fund our program for a year.
Mm-hmm.
But for every dollar we receive, we triple that in terms of in-kind donations to Family Promise and volunteer hours. So it is just a drop in the bucket in terms of what is actually needed, but it goes a long way. We make it stretch.
Yeah, and the staff really is very lean at Family Promise. We rely so much on the different congregations and the volunteers there. So, like Lorraine was saying, every dollar really gets stretched out because of the volunteers and everything else. But it still costs a lot to give people 3 meals a day, to make sure the housing is taken care of in the evening and everything else. So.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Folks, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you support Family Promise of Ogden? I mean, there's the question.
Well, give these kids a good way to get started.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Right.
important part.
Well, and to be honest, I really love the fact that Family Promise is focused on families, on children, and giving them a head start in life. It's terrible to think about children anywhere being left on the street destitute. Unfortunately, there are too many families in that position in our state, in our county even.
Yeah.
So,
And that's why you guys are here. That's why you're
Exactly.
helping.
We're
See, I
delighted.
told you, now you know this much, like way a lot about family.
well, a little
promise
bit
of
more.
Ogden.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Appreciate you helping us get the information out too.
Oh,
This is
I'm
great.
happy to do it. Did we cover everything? I don't want to.
Well, I think so. We wanted everyone to know about the fundraiser and a little bit more about what
Yep.
we do. We would also just love, if you don't feel like you can come to the breakfast or be involved that way, we would love in-kind donations. We're always looking for help with all of, you can imagine the panoply of things that it takes to provide shelter for
Yeah.
families.
Do you need like items, like if I have an old bed or something like that, or
Absolutely. Absolutely. We
bed?
can use those kinds of things. We can use toiletries, food, clothing.
yeah.
All of these things are very much needed by these families.
Wow.
So-
Wow. Well, there's your website one more time. The event, again, the Family Promise of Ogden, their breakfast, there's Rise and Shine. Is that what it's called?
Rise and Shine Breakfast.
I got something right. That's fantastic. The Rise and Shine Breakfast, September 16th at the Comfort Inn Suites here in Ogden. There's corporate sponsorships available. There are individual tickets available. You can help Family Promise by giving them cash in kind items that family would need. And you can always talk to Lorraine or Alex by just looking them up on the website here and sending them an email, whatever. But support Family Promise of Ogden. Please do that. And I'm your host, Craig Bielek, Junction City Today. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
I told you this was easy.
Hey.
And it was. And we'll see you guys
Appreciate it.
next time, okay?
Perfect.
I leaned in. I saw my
Good
nose
job.
in a couple shots.
Okay.
You know what we could do too is just do a quick 10-second commercial that Bill can plug in there.
For the
For your-
fundraiser.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's-
Okay.
You want to do that, Bill?
Sure.
Just quick 10 seconds. So what I'll do is I'll just say this is Alex and Lorraine from Family Promise of Ogden. They're holding a fundraiser. Tell them when.
And maybe you talk about Ben. I'll say where and when. You talk about Ben, and we're
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Bill, let's do one. Let's do it here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, folks, I'm Craig Bielek, your host of Junction City Today, and I'm here to talk real quickly about Family Promise Ogden. They have an event coming up, and it is on
September 16th, and it'll be out of the Comfort Suites Convention Center, 7:30 to 9 in the morning, and we will end at 9 o'clock sharp.
and it's a breakfast.
It's a breakfast. Yep.
It's a breakfast, and you get breakfast, and there's something else.
And we're delighted to have former Salt Lake City Mayor Ben McAdams coming to speak to us about homeless issues in our state and in our county. We're delighted to have him. He's got a lot of experience about homelessness in our state.
Do it.
yeah.
Do it. There's the website. Check it out. Get some tickets. See if you can swing a corporate sponsorship if you happen to own a business, and come and join us. We would love to see you there. I like breakfast. Do you like breakfast?
Love it.
You like breakfast?
Absolutely.
Everybody likes breakfast. Support Family Promise of Ogden.